Abortion's a hot topic, though, at the moment.
Well, what we've got at the moment is unbelievably wicked. Well, that amendment is unbelievably wicked, assuming that it passes into law.
See, I've gone back and forward about this because I totally understand that side. And I think most of my viewers will probably be on your side with that. Is it a very subtle and blurred almost difference between not criminalizing something and sort of making it legal and accepted? Because you don't want to encourage young women to do that, especially late term pregnancy. But also, when they've already done it, is it really a good idea to put those people in prison?
Well, again, it comes down to deterrence and the law. And in fact, people don't go to prison on the whole for abortion. It would need to be very late term indeed. Now, what has happened now is that Parliament has just, through that amendment, legalised very late term or decriminalised very late term abortions. So quite suddenly we have a situation. Now, when the limit was 24 weeks for social abortions, we had a situation in which you could have two children of exactly the same age and exactly the same gestation. This one was lying in a cot with all the resources of medical science being poured in to save it. This one, who is exactly the same, was being taken from the womb and destroyed. And the only difference between them was the will of the mother. Now you think what we've got abortion up to birth, if this amendment is finally in law, abortion up to birth. So that means that a child has full civil rights when it's born. A few hours before, it hasn't got any. Now, that isn't right. It just isn't right. And I think the biggest disaster was in 1990 when the Infant Life Preservation Act was decoupled from the Abortion Act. And when we had the Infant Life Preservation Act, there was a presumptive line of 28 weeks. Anything over that, you had to justify time. And we got rid of that. And it's now led to a thoroughly stupid situation, which I actually say in my recent Substack, whereby if a man kicks a woman in the stomach and kills a very advanced unborn child, it's not called murder, it's called child destruction. Why isn't it called murder? Because if you were going to call it murder, then what would you actually call it if it was done as an abortion?
It's weird it would be called child destruction.
That's what it's called.
Because that's a child is not a fetus.
I agree. Child destruction.
It's all very murky, isn't it? I see what you're saying.
No, it's complex. It's not murky. It's complex.
What's the difference in that
between
sense?
Complex and murky? Well, if something's murky, it's not terribly clear. But something can be clear and also very complex.
Bloody hell. It's really... where do you stand on sort of, after a few weeks, someone's just realised they're pregnant?
Well, I'm a Roman Catholic and it's still a child. As far as I'm concerned, once it's conceived, it should have full rights. But if the law actually, came down to 14, 16 weeks, I could live with that, because at least what you wouldn't be doing is tearing apart a sentient being.
Yeah, you can't be doing it up to near birth. That's absurd.
Well, I'm afraid that's what that amendment says, and I just wonder how many people, all the papers have covered it and commented on it, but I just wonder how many people have really taken in what it's done.
Well, it caused quite a stir, but it's almost like some people were so desperate to have this kind of, the pro-choice side, which I'm probably on with the early stages, that they go so, well, it's like you said before, every human rights push or campaign seems to go too far, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, the pendulum always swings too far. It always does.
Hell. How was Big Brother?
Big Brother. I had said to my agent, the two words, because I changed agents, and to the new agent I said, the two words I never want to hear from you are big and brother. And I just don't want it. And I said, I don't care if they offer me $1 million. I don't want to do it. Just don't bring it to me. And then in 2017, I've told a lie, I think it may have been 2018, because it was 100 years of women's suffrage. He rang me up and he said, now, just let me sort of finish the sentences. And I said, Big Brother, no. And he said, just let me finish. And they were proposing to do an unusual type of Big Brother, which they actually wanted to call Big Sister, but the channel wouldn't wear it. They wanted to call it Big Sister because it was designed to be a celebration of 100 years of women's suffrage. And it was designed to have more serious debates than usual and more serious people than usual and all this sort of stuff. So I said to Andrew, my agent, I said, oh, yeah, I believe that. And then he said, well, if they don't deliver on that, he said, you're not in the jungle, you're not in Australia, you're in Elstree, just walk out. He said, you won't get paid, but just walk out.
Down the road from here.
Yeah. And so I thought, okay, I'll give it a whirl. Now, I believed, first of all, I didn't believe that these debates were going to be serious, et cetera, but I did believe that probably within a week I would either be eliminated or I would just walk out. Apparently the whole production team thought the same thing. I became the runner-up 4 weeks later. If you'd said that to me, that was going to happen, I wouldn't have believed it.
But this goes back to what I was saying at the beginning. Ann Widdecombe, controversial, boo, boo, we don't like her. And then, well, actually, the public do because they vote for you. These are normal people.
I think what they liked was I said what I thought.
Well, yeah.
I said it nicely. I didn't yell at people. But I said what I thought. So, for example, I stood up for capital punishment and one or two other things that were very unpopular. But I stuck to it because that was what I thought. And I think people, even if they don't agree with you, they do quite like it when you just stand for what you believe.
Absolutely. And also because we're so used to these media-trained politicians, and not just even the football players now. They've all got media training. Everyone's very careful. You used to have these really outspoken guys and they would say whatever. Nobody does. And so when someone does come, even if, as you say, if they don't agree with you on capital punishment, if they don't agree on gay marriage or abortion, they want to hear it.
All those things came up,
Yeah, they want to hear the argument.
Yeah, and I think also, if it's you versus everybody else, as it frequently was on Big Brother, there is the British sympathy for the underdog.
Absolutely. Yeah. I had Jim Davidson on this show, and he won Celebrity Big Brother. And again, all controversial, boo, Jim Davidson, he's old-fashioned, we don't like. They loved him.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
What a world we live in.